my name is Tiffany and this is my channel, Who's Your Handmade. Thank you so much for stopping by today. In today's video, I am reviewing Simplicity 9273. A great pattern. If you want to see my version, stick around. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you will consider subscribing before you leave. I would love to get to know you better and welcome you into the sewing community. And as always, thank you so much to my friends for showing up again today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with me. It means so very much to me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of content and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've made this pattern yourself. If you have this one in your stash and you hope to make it in the future, I would love to chat with you down below in the comments section. So I am bringing you a short little review on this shirt that I've made today. This is a really fun pattern and I really wanted to share it with you all and show you how my version turned out in case you want to make it as well. Before we get into the review, let me share what I'm wearing today. This is the beautiful Styla Galina dress. I made these Galina dresses for myself and my little girl Addie during last year's Sew Frugal Challenge. So that was a lot of fun last year, sewing some mommy and me looks. I made this version of the Galina with some Walmart double brush poly and I absolutely love it. I am talking about this Simplicity pattern. This is Simplicity 9273. A really pretty pattern, shirt pattern there. I love those statement sleeves. I love a statement sleeve on anything. So I went for view B here and I have my version behind me. I'm going to show you in just a second, but let's talk about this pattern. This pattern comes in sizes extra, extra small all the way up to extra, extra large. So it's actually pretty size inclusive for a Mrs. pattern from the Big Four. I did fall into the finished garment measurements there on the back. Let me flip those around and show you. If you saw my video on Tuesday, previous about size inclusive sewing, you'll know that I always refer down here to these finished garment measurements and not so much up here to the sizing measurements. I always go for those finished garment measurements and I did fall within the range for the extra, extra large. So that's the size that I made. Really fun pattern, minimal pattern pieces. You have a front and a back, a sleeve, and for my version there, this version has a sleeve band that you add at the bottom of the sleeve. So you have that pattern piece and then you have a neckband. Very, like I said, minimal pieces, very fun to put together. This is a really fun knit project. And I did want to show you one of the pattern pieces. This is the bodice pattern piece. This is the back, I believe. But I wanted to show you this contouring they have here at the waistline. So it's contoured a little bit so that it gives you a little bit of a cinch in at the waist, and that worked really, really well for my body type. I really appreciated that just slight curve, that dip in there at the waist to give me a little definition. I really, really love it. And although this pattern includes something of a statement sleeve, the pattern piece is not overly large. I thought I would share it here with you. This is the sleeve for view B. Really not too large, didn't take up too much fabric at all. I actually had some fabric left over from using this collar blocking like I did. So I only used about a yard and maybe a quarter of the animal print fabric there that I used for the main bodice. So really not much of a fabric hog at all. Okay, let's take a look at my version. Now I'm gonna have footage, some video and some pictures at the end of this for you to see this garment on me. But let's take a look at it while it's here on Bernadette. So I did use this beautiful animal print, kind of a silky ITY knit for my main fabric. I purchased that from Hobby Lobby in one of their fall or winter collections, and it's been a couple winters ago. Beautiful fabric, very easy to sew with, even though it is quite silky, still worked out really well. So I've used the animal print here for the main bodice and as well as for the neckband. Now for the sleeves, I decided to go with a color block look. I love the look of this black with this animal print, and I also had this black in my stash. It's actually an athletic kind of silky fabric that I found at Joann's quite a while ago. I was gonna make some athletic skirts with it. Haven't done that yet, but I did have a lot of it in my stash, so I decided to use some of it for the sleeves. I also went with the animal print band there just to contrast those sleeves a little bit, and I love, love, love the outcome. Now let me tell you a few things that I have changed on this. I did add some length to the front and back bodice. I've added about an inch, and I think I'll go at least a quarter more in my next version because I want it to be just a little bit longer down there on my hips. That worked out fine. Adding in an inch at the lengthen and shorten lines, that worked perfectly. I also took some length out of the shoulder. Now when I tried this bodice on after I sewed the front and the back together, the shoulder line was kind of drooping off of my shoulder. It's something that is important to me that I do fix in my makes because I spot that very quickly now. Actually, if I wear a ready-to-wear garment, that's the first thing that starts bothering me when my shoulder is not in the correct place. So what I did for this version is I just took my French curve and my rotary cutter and I just cut off some of this extra width. So I just trimmed it off and tried to stay true to the arm's eye and tried not to vary too much from there. You do gather the top of your sleeve here, so I was able to work that in there with cutting some of that shoulder off, and you don't even notice now that I've done any alteration. On my next version and on these pattern pieces, what I want to do is a narrow shoulder adjustment. I'm going to use this book right here. I talked about this book in one of my Friday sews. This is an excellent resource. If you do not have this book in your stash, in your book collection, do add it. Think about adding this one because there are so many great tutorials in here for adjustments, and she shows you why they look wrong, signs to look for you needing those adjustments, and then she shows you the techniques to carry out those adjustments. So I'll be using this book for my narrow shoulder adjustment. I've also noticed that I might need a sway back adjustment on this one. You'll see in the pictures there at the end of the video that it does pool a little bit at the small of my back. Now this fabric is very slinky, it's silky. I think it doesn't really show that badly in this fabric. It has a lot of drape anyway, but I might look into doing a sway back adjustment on my next version. And then the last adjustment that I did, it's not technically an adjustment, but I did go ahead and measure for myself my neckline before I added my neckband in. So that's a very easy thing to do instead of just trusting the neckband piece that they give you. Now they did give me a neckband piece with this pattern, but when I went to measure that and then do my calculations, I needed to take quite a bit out of that neckband. I folded this much under. That's a lot of neckband. So if I had not measured that for myself and just trusted this neckband piece, I would have been taking that one out and redoing it. That would have been a lot of frustration. But as it is right now, it's really beautiful. It sits very nicely on my neckline and the front and the back. And I'm really, really happy that I took those few simple added steps to calculate that neckband for myself and come up with my own neckband length. Overall, a really great pattern. I will be making this one again. It's going to be one of my favorite Big Four top patterns, I believe. It's been really fun to put together. Once you get these adjustments down, it's going to be really easy to sew these up very quickly. And I love those sleeves. Those sleeves make a statement without being too much work at all. I did want to mention that these bands fit perfectly, and I have quite wide biceps, so I'm always worried about those sleeve bands fitting. This one's perfect. I have plenty of room. It was a great measurement. I did not have to change that at all. I do highly recommend you giving this pattern a try. If you have it stored away in your stash, or if you want to go pick it up in one of the Simplicity sales, a really fun pattern, definitely a great one to have in your stash. Okay, that's gonna do it for this review of the Simplicity 9273. Like I said, let me know down below if you have this pattern in your stash or if you've made it before. I would love to hear about your experiences and chat with you down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.